FSG are turning Liverpool Football Club into a laughing stock in the transfer market. I'm going to go through and give you the very latest from Martin Zubimendi's proposed move to Arsenal. That and a couple of other bits and pieces where the excuses are already being made by the journalists for Richard Hughes and for Liverpool's lack of activity. So I'm going to take you through everything today, giving you my thoughts, asking you guys for yours. I don't normally put out a video on a match day. I like to keep match days upbeat and positive, but I can't hold my tongue on this one. We need to talk about it, and I want to know how you guys are feeling. So let's start off with the story that came from Sami Mokbel originally, and it is exclusive. Arsenal to land Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi at the end of the season. Now you see this and you think, okay, that's one journalist. Maybe I'm about to see Liverpool swoop in. Maybe we're going to see Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards spring into action. Nope. Next up was David Ornstein, and Mr. Ornstein said, Arsenal pursuing deal to sign Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Arsenal working on landing the 25-year-old midfielder next summer for a considerable period and reignited their long-term pursuit during the process of recruiting Mikel Merino. Next up then came Fabrizio Romano, who said, Arsenal are in advanced talks to sign Martin Zubimendi for the summer of 2025. Negotiations underway with player side and final key steps needed. Then came Alex Crook, who came out and said Liverpool are not expected to revisit the Zubimendi deal. Arsenal and Zubimendi have agreed terms and personal terms as per Sami Mokbel. Now, I want to move on to what the excuse makers are coming out with. And James Pearce, who is excuse maker in chief for FSG, have come out and said Liverpool don't hold any grudges regarding how the move fell through last summer, and their admiration for Zubimendi as a footballer remains. However, strengthening in that department isn't the priority as previously given Ryan Gravenberch's influence. They know this is nonsense. You know this is nonsense. I know this is nonsense. We're one Gravenberch injury away from our season falling apart. I've been speaking to journalists over the last few months, and I promise you that what I've been told was that if Martin Zubimendi shows an indication and a willingness to change his mind, that Liverpool would act. Never that we were stocked in that position and we didn't need one. We need a midfielder. We needed one last summer, we needed one the winter window before that, and we needed one the summer window before that. And hey, guess what? We still need one now. Why aren't we signing Martin Zubimendi? Well, you know the answer to that question as well as I do. It's because John W. Henry and FSG are cheap. And John W. Henry and FSG are turning this club into a laughing stock, not only in transfer windows, but now also in contract negotiations, because also The Athletic have come out to say, while Richard Hughes has come under scrutiny for not getting contract extensions for Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold wrapped up, here's the kicker, he can only make offers within a financial framework acceptable to the owners. Now, am I right or am I wrong? But we're journalists on our channel and on others saying that they're empowered. Hughes and Edwards are empowered by the owners to go out there and make decisions. And if Liverpool don't extend players or Liverpool don't sign players, it's not because FSG don't give them the money. It's because Hughes and Edwards decided that they didn't want to do them. You've seen it on our channel. You've seen it written elsewhere. And now once again, they are shown to have been manipulated by the club. And they won't even call them out. This is the embarrassing part of all of this. These same journalists that pretend to look down their nose at the rest of us and know everything, I told you, they get told by the clubs what the clubs want them to know. And then they have to be good little boys and girls and go out there and tell the rest of the world what the club wants them to know. And then they get really antsy when anybody calls them out about it because their word's supposed to be gospel, even if deep down they know it isn't true. So how I'm feeling right now is not manipulated, because I knew this was coming. I knew the owners were this cheap. But as a fan, as somebody who wants Liverpool to kick on and build on the success that we're having at the minute, I'm absolutely at a loss to figure out how this is acceptable to anybody. So again, let's go back to that. Richard Hughes can only make offers within the financial restraints given to him by the owners. So basically, they're being cheap and they're throwing their sporting director under the bus. Because the Athletic is right with this. Richard Hughes has come under a lot of grief recently because he hasn't been able to get anything done. And I've always said that it starts from the top with the owners. But other people and journalists have said, no, these guys make decisions. FSG empowered them to do so. Nope. Like I've always said, The fish rots from the head, and FSG are cheap. They've proven it with the Red Sox. Now they're proving it once again at Liverpool. So today, when we should be trying to get Martin Zubimendi in to make sure that we have the midfield that we need, we're being told once again, no, Gravenberch can play 70 games a season. Don't worry about it, lads. We've already told you the manager doesn't trust Endo, but now all of a sudden he might just trust Endo because FSG are cheap and don't want to spend money on a midfielder. So while Arsenal are pushing ahead, building from a position of strength, trying to get that league title, trying to get a Champions League, we're sitting on our hands and going around chasing a 19-year-old striker over in Germany for a position that we really don't need strengthening in at this moment in time. We need a midfielder, we need a centre-back, we may even need a left-back, but we're over chasing a 19-year-old striker when we have our own 19-year-old striker who's pretty good. I think you'll agree with me in Jayden Danns. And by the way, that's exactly where Liverpool are. Barry Hunter, Liverpool's chief scout, is over in Germany trying to get a deal done for the 19-year-old striker, Stefanos Tsimas, who's on loan at Nuremberg from PAOK. And midfield, bye-bye, don't need that and done there. Ryan Gravenberch can just be ran into the ground. We don't learn lessons. We don't learn them from previous seasons. We haven't learned them from Arsenal's injuries overplaying Saka. And yet again, we're being told by these professionals that we don't know what we're looking at, that we don't understand how football clubs work and are being run. We do. We know we're being manipulated. We know we're being lied to. We know we're constantly being told, look over here while we're over there. Piece in the Echo last night. The great John Aldridge, given his opinion, said, Liverpool should be all over Kavicha Kvaratskhelia. Well, John, we aren't, because Paris Saint-Germain are about to sign him. But we're chasing a 19-year-old kid around Europe. A 19-year-old, by the way, who may well be very good, but isn't going to fire us to a league title this season. Isn't going to help us in our push for a Champions League. Isn't going to fill the gaps that we have in the squad. But we're supposed to be happy. We're supposed to stick our fingers in our ears and pretend that everything is great. Richard Hughes has been an absolute failure. And whether that's because of his own failures or because of the owners, it doesn't matter. It's all the same to us as fans. We want results on the pitch and off it. We want the contract renewals done. We want the midfielder brought in that we've chased for windows and been embarrassed by. Remember, Caicedo, embarrassment. Lavia, embarrassment. Zubimendi, embarrassment. And now what have they done? They've doubled down on that embarrassment by allowing Arsenal to go and sign him. How do they think that's going to look in the public? How do they think that's going to be reacted to by football fans, Liverpool's and others? You know the answer to it. We're going to be mocked and ridiculed once again. And why is it? Because FSG, John W. Henry, Tom Werner are cheap and they don't give a damn about Liverpool Football Club. All they care about is their bottom line. I hope that people can start to see this. I hope that people start to get behind this movement that has been growing for a while. I've given them credit for the stuff they've done well, but you cannot excuse the inexcusable, and they are turning Liverpool Football Club into a joke. It's over to you now, ladies and gentlemen. I've had my say. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope to see you tonight at 6:45 for a watch-along of the Nottingham Forest game. A massive, massive game in our season. But once again, Liverpool Football Club have allowed that narrative to be seized. And on a day where we should be fully focused only on a game, which I'm sure the manager and players are, in the media, we're being made a laughingstock by the cheapness of these owners. And I'm sick of it. I am honestly sick of it. Over to you. Much love. Bye-bye.